Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Cory.
And I'm Matt. And each week this podcast will serve as a catalyst for discussion on all sorts of topics that grind our gears, rev our engines, or just need a bit more conversation. And this episode is absolutely no exception.
You're already laughing over there, just remembering the conversations that we had. So
incredible.
Yes. First and foremost, one thing that we have come to love of this podcast is getting to share stories with people throughout the automotive industry and beyond, and just to converse with people about cars and how cars play a part in their life.
Yeah.
And this week's guest is no different. This week's guest is actually a returning guest, and that would be none other than Texas country music star Cory Morrow. And if you have not gone and listened to Garage Talk, episode 37, season 1, episode 37, speeding tickets, killing cars, and trusty Fords, I think pretty much sums up that episode in a nutshell. Just getting to know Cory's history, where he's been with cars, how cars have factored into his life.
Yeah.
Great episode all by itself, but getting to dive a little bit deeper this week with him and follow up with him, because that was October when we spoke with him last.
It was a little while ago, yeah.
Yeah, the world's changed a little bit. His life's changed a little bit. Our life's changed a little bit. We've got a lot more passionate fans have joined with us over the years. So it has been a journey for both of us since last we spoke. And this week's episode was a fun one for sure.
Most definitely. Yeah. We really should just jump into the episode, and we'll talk details about it afterwards.
Yep. So we have the privilege of sitting down once again with Cory Morrow, Texas country music star, and talking all things automotive and upcoming car shows with. Cory, glad to have you.
I love it. Glad to be back, man. Thank you so much. Been listening in on you guys, sneaking in and listening in on other people's interviews, and I'm just a big fan and appreciate you giving me another shot to come hang out with you for a little while.
Well, absolutely. We always love chatting with people throughout the industry, and we love catching back up with people that we've chatted with.
Yeah.
So,
that's fun stuff right there, isn't it?
Yeah. The world's changed a little bit since last we spoke. Matt and I are actually in the same room this time. I'm dealing with a little bit of nasally congestion thanks to the beautiful, lovely East Texas flowers that we've got pollinating the world over here.
So it's so nice. I washed my truck late yesterday. I waited till the sun was almost all the way down. I was toweling her off and kissing her and telling her she looked beautiful. And then the sun was just about to be down. And it's like, it's going to be so nice to wake up in the morning. I'm going to drive my freshly washed truck. It's going to be shiny. And people are going to be like, ooh, look how shiny. And I wake up and there's a nice thin yellow film all across the whole thing, all over the whole thing. So what are you going to do?
Let me tell you a trick for that, because I have lived that very experience so many times in my life. And so not sponsored on this, but I will put it up on our GT Garage Talk gear page. Not the best name in the world, but the California Car Duster works beautifully this time of year for just that problem, because it's touted as the car mop that the dirtier it gets, the better it works. And that's basically what it looks like. It looks like a handheld dust mop, and it has wax on all the little fibers, and it does a great job of collecting freshly deposited pollen off a brand new, freshly cleaned vehicle. So that situation would work perfectly for the California Car Duster. So,
all right, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
I'll have to look into that. Another thing I want to try is the acrylic coating. Is that right? The
ceramic,
on and it protects the car for like 3 or 4 or 5 years or something. You just spray dirt and mud, nothing sticks. You just hose it off with a hose. You don't have to use soap and water anymore. I'm like, I'm in on that.
Sign me up. Yes.
Yeah. I keep waiting on the Teflon coating to come out. Somebody's going to have Teflon before long. We'll just rinse it all off and it'll go away.
Blow it off.
Man, right?
Yeah. And
the stuff I've seen is just amazing. They go mud and ice and mud and everything, and they hit it with a hose, and it's like it's brand new, and then they just dry it off. I'm like, okay, that's I got to have some of that. I gotta get my vehicle painted first, because it's just not there yet. But What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So this rig that you had all glossed up and pretty, was that the Dad-Burb, or?
It was a Dad-Burb.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Dad-Burb, she still lives. There's lots of stories to go along. I think since the last time we talked, and several $1,000s here and several $1,000s there. But she's still alive, and I still own her, and I can't burn her up now. I can't set her on fire now. She's not worth what I'd get.
Right.
It wouldn't be worth it.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you're racking up some miles since the last time we spoke. World's opened up a little bit, and you're doing some shows now, huh?
We are back on the road, so to speak. Actually, quite literally. So yeah, we're hitting the pavement. We're doing, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 shows a month here and there, which is great. Before it all hit, we were doing, I don't know, 8 to 10, something like that on average. And so we're about half of what we were before. And it's enough to get by. We're not back quite up and running business-wise where we were before, but we have everybody in the band and crew are with us, and we're going out and playing where we can play and doing what we can do. And it's been rough, but it's been good. I find that there's a lot that has caused us to grow and spur us in directions that we wouldn't have gone before had this not happened. And so in an effort to really trust that as long as we keep our head down and our hands up, that the good Lord's going to lead us in the direction that we're supposed to be going in, whether we think it's a good direction or not, and to trust his guidance on all this. And so I think that there is definitely some good that's coming out of this crazy pandemic we've been through.
That's awesome.
Just for us personally.
Yep. Yeah. We talked a lot about that on the last episode.
Did we?
Yeah. I believe we titled it "Speeding Tickets and Killing Cars." So
that's a good one. That's a good one.
that really was a good episode. Just kind of reliving some of your past experiences, and your vehicle history in and of itself is quite interesting.
It's questionable.
Questionable. That's a good safe word. Questionable. That's...
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah. The same could be said about us. I mean, so I went from a 426 horsepower Camaro SS to on a good day, 140 horsepower Chevy Cruze Eco that, not quite the same world, but I've had a few people, podcast related, poke fun at me a little bit for the rig I choose to drive day in and day out. But you know what? It's paid for, so I don't care. So, yeah.
And what are you getting, about 35, 36 miles a gallon?
Yeah. And it's a manual, so I get to have fun.
Oh, it's a manual?
Yeah.
Dude, you're winning. Are you kidding me? Nobody can complain or make fun of you. I mean, they could try, but if you tell them you're driving a manual, no matter what it is, it's just like, that's like the veto card right there. You just lay it down and it's like everything's okay. You can be driving anything as long as it's a manual these days.
And, the joke is that, even though I am a millennial, the manual transmission is a millennial theft device. So I've been known to leave it running and the door open in certain places I go, just because I'm not exactly worried that it's going to go anywhere, because if anyone actually wanted a Chevy Cruze with swirls in the paint, I don't know that they can make off with it. So, plus I could probably run and catch up until that turbo kicked in anyway. So, yeah.
That's so good.
It'd be fun.
Oh, that's so good. That's good. Oh man, I hadn't driven a manual in a while, but I'm on the hunt, man. That's good stuff. My car collection I don't think it's changed much. Still have Dad-Burb, still have Turk, the pickup, the old 96 F-250, and then I have I have an 02 Suburban. Did I have that last time I was talking with you guys?
So.
I don't know. I traded a show for it. I did a deal where the guy said wanted me to play for his company party, and he had this Suburban for sale, and I didn't really want it, but it was kind of cheap, and I thought, well, it's pretty good. It's a 4-wheel drive 02. It's got like 200,000 miles on it, but a V8 4-wheel drive Suburban that looks pretty clean. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what, pink slip for the party. And he said, okay. So
Nice.
I thought maybe we start a new company called Gigs for Rigs, and I'll just go run around doing parties for people, and they just trade me a car in exchange for the party. And it hasn't caught on yet, but I feel like there's something there. You know, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That's epic. I want in on that.
Yeah, Gigs for Rigs, and it just kind of depends on what you got and what you think it's worth and what you think the party's worth. It kind of makes it real, though, when you hand over a pink slip in exchange for somebody to come play a show. It's a little different than a actual check, I think.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Well, Matt, that would be right up your alley because
that would be
one,
incredible.
You're a musician yourself, and two, you're constantly on the hunt for your next project vehicle, or now I should say Garage Talk's next project vehicle.
Yeah, basically.
What do you got? What you got going on right now?
Right now, this afternoon I was elbow deep in my father-in-law's 3/4 ton diesel Ford. Doing
what year?
It's a 2000, so it's the 7.3.
Okay.
It's got
7.3.
It's got a 5-speed with a granny low, and it's a great old beater truck. I love it. I love it to death.
Good.
The more time I spend with that truck, the more I want it. And he's not even said that he would be willing to sell it to me.
Oh my gosh! But you've got it in your mind that more time you spend with it, the more he's gonna be inclined to maybe make you the right of first refusal.
Yeah, So, but
that's the old million mile mule right there. The million mile mule.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. I have to tell you, I wore a shirt specifically for tonight. So, last Friday's episode was with Chris Hall of 4xe, the
Jeep
Wrangler
4xe.
Yeah, Jeep Wrangler 4xe, and there were no vehicle sounds that we could get excited about. So this week I wore, and I wanted to bring it up to you specifically. My I don't know if you can see it.
Weird. I don't know what it is, but it looks loud.
It says the music of my people.
Yes, it's a blasphemy. It's Finnegan from Finnegan Speed and Marine on YouTube channel. He's got a blown big block Hemi in a 55, 56, 57, I forget what it is, Chevy Bel Air. And it runs like 8-second quarter miles and all kinds of stuff. But I knew that it would be a kindred spirit type thing between you and I. Loud cars and concerts and music and all that kind of stuff. So I had to wear it. I had to wear it just for us.
And crossing the swords with the Mopar and the show. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I think we got to get Ford body, Dodge engine, and Chevy transmission. Right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that the ultimate Frankenstein?
Absolutely.
Right? That's the ultimate Frankenstein. The F2
or
F250,
Abomination
F250 body, Allison transmission, and then a diesel, a Dodge inline 6 diesel.
Sign me up.
You know, I do have one triumph over the last year that vehicularly speaking that has happened, and that got my wife convinced to get rid of the minivan in exchange for Yukon XL Denali.
Nice.
When the new body style Denali's?
Yes,
Nice.
2015, and yes, that 6.2 is fun. That's a lot of fun. So it's finally get something that I enjoy driving as well. And she's coming around with 2 TV screens that come down, you know, and the kids can crawl to the back with the bucket seats. And Daddy's always saying, "Feet off the seat, get your feet off the seat." That's the new rhyme when they get in the car. What's the word on the street? And when you get in the car, feet off the seat, Daddy. That's the word on the street, boys. Feet off the seat.
I love it. Well, not to get you in too much more trouble, but those 6.2s do take very well to a supercharger. I'm just saying.
Oh, you don't have to say. No. That's happening. That thing, as soon as she's tired of it, I am pulling the AFM off of it, and we're gonna swap out that cam, swap out those lifters, put some stouter rods and everything on that whole train there, and we will be putting a nice little blower or something. I'll probably just put a little bit bigger cam in there, and beef it up a little bit, you know, get it tuned, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just putting that little cam in that thing and then beefing it up is fun, you know.
That'd be Dad-Burb 2.0.
I'm simple. Yeah. What's it? Okay, so we got plates for that Suburban, and it is Mom-Burb.
Nice.
So we have Dad-Burb and Mom-Burb, and
Love it.
I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
Matt,
it's pretty fun, man.
Matt, I do think you need to come clean with him because
Uh-oh.
you owned a F-150 last time we spoke with Cory.
Has it been that long ago that we talked?
I do believe so. Yeah.
What happened?
I no longer.
You're the Ford guy.
I know. I'm still a Ford guy. I'm not a modular 5.4 guy, but I am a Ford guy. I have since traded my F-150 for a Subaru Impreza with a manual. Manual.
Hey, let me tell you something. My 2 cents is you can't go wrong. If it's a CE, if it's a combustible engine, is that right? ICE?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
CE. What is it? What do they
Internal
call it?
combustion, ICE, yeah.
Internal combustion and ICE. If it's ICE and you enjoy it, and even if it's a manual, it's even better. But if it's an ICE and you have fun with it, and you're glad you're driving it, and you got a smile on your face, then you're winning. And I think it's all. Everybody's got their own preference, man. I think that's what makes it so much fun. Is each individual person looks different, sounds different. Yeah. They are different. They're unique and they're beautiful, and they have a story about their life and where they came from and how they were brought up and how they were raised and the things that influenced them, the things that inspired them. And man, automobiles, I think depending on what generation you are and if you care to drive and you have driven, if you do love automobiles, man, that automobile and the automobiles you've driven in your life are part of your story. And I love hearing how that plays in because, man, when people get an affinity for engines and they get affinity for driving and cars, trucks, whatever it is, they grab onto it, man, and it just sometimes their whole life kind of revolves around these things, or these things kind of help create the story about their lives, and they get you places that you wouldn't have gone, or they broke down and kept you from going places that you're glad you didn't go. I just think it's awesome, man. I think the Subaru Impreza is a really cool car. Every single car, even the ones that people be like, oh, it's a piece of crud, that thing never should have been made. Nah, my sister had a Plymouth Reliant K car. That was one of her cars. Like when it was like her first car was like I think it was like a Thunderbird, and she killed it. She drove it till she never changed the oil on it, and a friggin' hole in it this big, and just killed it. But it saved her life. She got T-boned, and the way they hit her, that giant engine is as big as a living room, and that whole front end. All that happened was her bumper moved over about 6 inches, and the guy that hit her in a Suburban went off into the ditch and totaled his car, and he was okay.
Oh,
but
man.
Saved her. She killed the car, and next thing she got was a Plymouth Reliant K car. Now, you would probably say that's a piece of crud. Yeah. But that thing got her to and from school. She took care of it. She drove it with her back straight, head up high.
Right.
And she loved that car, Yeah. And I think the Subaru Impreza is a cool car, man. WRX, STI. I think the all-wheel drive, those things get souped up, and you could take those things on those rallies. And are you kidding me? That's awesome. I ain't going to give you credit about it.
No, it's a blast of a little car. And I'm sure you got to deal with all the snow and crud that we had here in Texas just a few weeks ago. That thing was amazing in the snow. It was so much fun.
Like nothing. Like it was made for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was.
So I'm just going to say right here, I'm going to take a snippet of that little rant he just went on, and I think that's the new trailer for this podcast.
Boy, no kidding.
Talking about people's stories and their histories, because that's essentially what this podcast is getting to know people and their stories. So thank you for that. You couldn't have said it better myself.
That's why I like talking with y'all. Y'all have that same fever. You have the fever for the flavor of a Ford or whatever it is.
Yeah, I kept waiting on you to grab a guitar off the shelf and start picking away and playing, singing a song. It's just
you gave him an idea.
That's why we're here. Well, that one's not tuned. I don't know where y'all want to go. I'd love to tell you a couple of things that are going on in my life right
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, so with COVID and everything and the way that things have slowed down, and I think March, April, May of last year, we were pretty much like no shows whatsoever. We weren't working, and so everybody does the PPP thing, and we're paying attention and watching and seeing what's happening, and they're going to take care of us, and we're going to get through this, and everybody's kind of holding tight, sit tight, just sit and wait it out. And then it kind of opens up, and we're thinking, oh, the fall's going to be amazing. It's going to be good. And then they shut it down again in July. And then we're looking to have a really good fall. Things were looking up, and we are going to have this incredible fall. And then July came, and everything shut down, and it just flopped. And so we just held tight, got through Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I started thinking, like, man, if March comes around in 2021 and things are not back up to full scale, we're going to really have to look at something else, and not necessarily 100% something else, but something else, another basket to draw from, so to speak. And so we had talked, my wife and I, since we met, about what the twilight of our lives would look like. And for me, financially and business wise, what I would be doing to provide for the family. And so we talked about scaling back on the amount of on the road shows that we did, and trying to find different ways to bring in revenue that were music related. And so putting on an event like Go Wheels Up, and doing other musical events and things like that were part of it. But one of the things I had kind of thought about in the last several years, since Dad-Burb came into my life, and wrenching, I traded in my golf clubs for wrenches. I started really thinking about, man, what would it look like to be involved more seriously with cars and automobiles, and on what level, what scale, or coming from what angle. And man, the closer we got to January, February, it was like, man, I wonder what it would look like to buy and sell cars, because to do it with a dealer's license, as opposed to doing it with the way I've been doing it, which is, you get on Car Gurus and pay top dollar retail, right, bring it home, pay a bunch of money for retail parts, fix it, and then turn around and sell it for a loss again on Car Gurus retail. I'm like, this business model does not work. And so I thought, it's fun, and I'm learned a lot, but it's not a good business model. So I was like, what would it look like to do it, for real? And so going through the motions, and I'm kind of like right on the cusp of getting my license. I'm essentially going to go work for a friend and learn the ropes, kind of just get my feet wet for a while. I think I'm just going to dive all the way in and start buying and selling for him, and learning the business from the inside out, and then get my license fully vetted, and start my own little Morrow Motors. I've already applied for the name.
Nice.
So it's Morrow Motors LLC. We've got the website, morrowmotorstx.com, and we're making up T-shirts and everything else. So we're planning for the whole, party of when it happens, the release party, so to speak, and looking for a piece of land to build the place on. And so this is sort of like, the more we look at this, we're thinking, man, this is kind of exciting, because I love cars. I love talking about cars. I love working on cars, and buying them and selling them. And what better way to kind of go into the twilight of my life than to be able to make money at that, and to do it hopefully in a way where everybody feels like they got a good deal, and I get to make a little bit of money, but not enough to where they feel like they got kind of, gypped. Right. I want to be able to do better than the guy down the road, and where you come in and you're not feeling like I kind of stuck it to you. I want you to feel like, okay, yeah, this is a good deal, man. I did better than I could have at CarMax, took care of me.
Awesome.
And so that's kind of what's come out of it towards the latter end of this whole thing. And then, as I mentioned a minute ago, Go Wheels Up, our auto show, air show, food and music festival, is happening as of today. Yes. We are basically fully funded. Nice. And it is happening. It's happening Memorial Day weekend in San Marcos, Texas. GoWheelsUp.live is a website, and all the information there about what's going on. It's May 29th and 30th, and from noon to 7 on Saturday and Sunday. And we have almost 100 cars already signed up, and we have an F-16 Viper, and skydivers, and some flip-flop planes, some planes from the CAF. We have, I think we might be having like an A-10, one or two A-10 Warthogs going to come down on static display. So really cool airplanes are going to be there, and I've got some really neat automobiles as well. A lot of people are coming in with some pretty cool 2020 or 2021 Acura NSX is now on the field.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool. Yeah. We have some Lamborghinis, some Hummers. I've got at least one Ferrari I know of. I'm trying to get some more. Those guys are tough to come by. The Ferraris are kind of like, I'm not really sure if I want to go to your car show, but then maybe I will drive by and tip my macchiato at you. But we're trying to get some Ferraris to come out. But man, yeah, I'm super excited about that. The fact that it's year 2 and it's happening, and it's a go. So we're super excited about that one.
That's incredible.
I'm going to say I'm actually quite excited for Go Wheels Up as well, because we have not talked with you about it since, but my wife and I have concocted this West Texas road trip that we're going to go on all the way out to, oh my gosh, I can't even remember everywhere that we're going, but we're kicking it off with Go Wheels Up. So we're actually going to be at the event for Garage Talk, covering covering some of the action out there. Yes, sir. And
let's set up and interview everybody. You're going to have some cool people to talk to, man.
That'd be fantastic.
Do you know Pampa from Iron Resurrection?
Yeah.
We're in contact with Shag from Iron Resurrection.
Well, Pampa's going to be one of our celebrity judges.
Nice.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah, man.
So, yes, that is the first leg of our journey west into deep West Texas.
What an honor.
And so we're going there. Then we've got a couple of nights that my wife and I won at a hotel on the river in San Antonio. So we're going to go to San Antonio, and then we're going to head west. So very excited about
I-10 and go west.
Yeah, very excited about Go Wheels Up this year, and just being able to play a part in it ourselves, cover it for you, and actually get to meet you face to face. So.
Very cool, man. I love it. That's
awesome.
I can't wait. I look forward to that.
I'll have to wear I haven't ordered one yet, and my wife jokes that I should have got her one a long time ago. We have a shirt on our shop that says "It's Cory's fault" on it. A quote from Matt on one of our very early episodes. Yeah, tell me what size, and I'll bring one for you too. So.
Absolutely.
Large. Make it a large. Make it a large. Put an L, shape it of an L on his forehead.
Yes.
Well, we'll get you a Go Wheels Up shirt.
Awesome.
It's got our name on it as well.
Awesome.
Sweet. I just appreciate that I finally met someone that spells his name correctly. Like, there's so many EYs out there, and
that's right. No.
Yeah. So yes,
it's not our fault that they do it wrong.
Right.
There's no need for that silent E.
So
what's the point, man?
Just to confuse people.
That's
It's like why is there an A at the end of Manchac? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or an S at the end of Arkansas. Like, come on now.
Right. Yeah.
So, but that's only the beginning of the problems.
Why isn't there an S in the middle of New Braunfels? There's not. There's only one S in New Braunfels, and it's right there at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
We could go a long way into the weird spellings of Texas cities if we want to go down that road. We talked about Greenhall last time, so yeah.
Gruen.
Yeah.
And how Houston is pronounced Houston in New York.
What's wrong with those people? Houston. Come on now.
There's no W. There's no W in Houston.
No. But yes. So very excited for Go Wheels Up. Very excited. Like I said, just to keep in contact with you and see what's going on in your life. You're stepping into that next phase of your career and what it looks like. I will be following it intently because I've always joked with my last name I should open a Chevrolet dealership so people will actually pronounce my last name correctly. Fornique Chevrolet. It just rolls off the tongue.
It rolls right off.
Right. So the problem is we also have another French-sounding name who owns the Chevy dealership here in town. So we have Pelche Chevrolet, and just say Pelche.
And Chevrolet is a French. You know the history of Chevrolet. It came from that driver, the race car driver. So, we for our car dealership, we've already come up with our slogan.
Okay.
Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow. Come out today. Tomorrow Motors. Hey.
Nice.
Hey, I like it.
Love it.
So, speaking more about Morrow Motors.
It's a dad joke.
Yeah. So, what is your aim? What is your specialty? It sounds like you're going to be doing the used market more or less.
Yep.
So, what do you want to?
I think at the end of the day, I want to kind of do everything. I want to be sort of a specialty shop, but I also want to be the guy that where you're like, okay, man, my car's got 100,000 miles on it. It's got some things wrong with it. I need to get out of it for as much as I can get out of it, and I'd like to get into something maybe a little bit newer, but I can't afford a brand new car. And I want to be the guy that helps you. I want to go to auction with your car and go see what we can get for it, and try to get as close to what you think it's worth as we can. And I do some of the repairs up, get it fixed up, and get it to your and a little bit of that I'm looking for, and it's not above. I'm going to try to keep my margin between this and this. I'm not going to try to get so big, and I'm also don't want to take a loss. But anything over that is yours. So it's like the win can be me going to auction for you and calling you up and being like, here's what it's coming for. Do you want me to pull the trigger? Yeah. And I want to kind of turn it around to where the person who comes into the store has a little bit more participation in what goes on, and there's no secret numbers going on. And I can just say, look, I'm going to try to get this much money for my efforts. Are you cool with that? Yeah. Okay. Everything over that, it's yours. I'm not going to keep it. So, but I'm going to take care of you and then bring it back and do it like that. And so it can be an array of valuable cars, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to go find, like I just found an 84 Thunderbird today with a 5.0. It's got 84,000 miles on it and it's pretty good shape. And they want $3,600 for it. And I'm like, oh, I want that. And I want to put a supercharger on it, and I want to clean it up and put leather seats in it and flip it. And then I want to make some money on that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do stuff where we take them in, we mod them up, and I don't mind taking a little bit more on those things. But as far as the trade-in stuff, I feel like people really get a raw deal. You go to CarMax and they give you terrible offers for your vehicle, and then they turn around and sell them for 2 or 3 or 4 times what they gave you for it. And I don't know, man. I know the business works that way, and that's why there's meat on the bone, and that's why there's wholesale and retail, and I get it. But for people that come to see me, I want to try to do something a little bit different and make it more. And I guess if people find out about it and it becomes a thing, I might have to change it a little bit, but because a good thing can get overpopulated. But I think friends and family. I want to take care of my friends and family. And gosh, man, if I can start getting cars at wholesale prices and take them home and soup them up and like do a front end job on it and put shocks and brakes all the way around and maybe put some headers on that thing and put cold air intake, make it breathe a little bit better, flip it around, and you got an extra 50 horsepower on a car that, was before just on its last leg, and engine, transmission are in good shape, and you throw some new spark plugs in there and we're good to go. I just think that's just fun for me to be able to turn a car around and say, here, you can expect another 50,000 miles out of this thing before you have anything that you got to worry about,
Yeah. That's fantastic.
But high-end stuff and taking high-end and going and collecting high-end cars, that'll be part of it too. But the modification side of it thing is something I think it'd be a lot of fun. I've got a couple of friends, 3 or 4 now, that are tuners around town. And so there's lots of options there to take cars to just say, hey, man, I'm tune this thing up, pay you what you want for it, and then take it back to the shop and I can let people know, hey, man, we dropped this cam in here and we tuned it up and what do you want it for? What do you want for it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun adventure that I'm going to have to keep Matt away from. Don't get any ideas over there yet.
Oh, they're already rolling. Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, right? I mean, you take your Subaru Impreza and be like, okay, what can we do to this thing? How can we make this an extra 100 horsepower without throwing NOS on it?
That's simple because mine's non-turbo, so all I have to do is put a turbo on it, and I've got another 100 horse out of it. So.
I think turbos and superchargers and cams are all really fun.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if you're not gonna go turbos and superchargers, I think cams are a whole lot of fun. And if you're gonna go turbos and superchargers, then just change your plugs and get on it.
Yep. Yep.
And a lot of the stuff I'm learning as I go, and I'm learning the hard way because I'm making big mistakes. And then I take it to somebody. It's not running right. Well, did you do this? No, I didn't know I had to. Yeah, well, that's why everything's messed up. Okay, should I stop yelling at you now? I don't know, man. I even at the end of the day, like I told my buddy that helped me build the Dad-Burb, I told him last night, I was like, this thing is a money pit, and I think I'm done with it, and I'm going to sell it when this event is over, and I'm just so freaking worn out. And I got up this morning to take it to the shop, and I'm driving it, and I'm just like, God, I love this truck. Uh-huh. And I texted him, and I was like, every time I drive this thing, and it just gives me a hint of what it could be, I fall back in love with it. And so it's just this horrible relationship I have with this thing. And then something will break and it's like, I can't fix it, or I can fix it, but it's going to take a day or 2 days and $1,000. And it's like, I blew up the rear end on it, by the way. I went and got it tuned, and the tune that was put on it was just like, magnifique. And I've taken it and I'm just like, I'm smoking those 35s, and I'm just like, it's everything I wanted it to be. and I'm cruising at 80 miles an hour down the highway, and it's just smooth. And I get home, I get up in the morning, and I'm going to go see my friend. I'm going to show him what all I can do. And I get to a stoplight, and I'm talking, and I touch the gas, and it just goes boom. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, man, I think my friggin' drive shaft just fell on the ground. And I pull over, and I get out, and there's nothing on the ground, and there's no fluid, and there's nothing. And I'm like, what the? Oh, the rear end. The rear diff exploded. My ring and pinion is in pieces, dude. And I got that thing apart. And I'm telling you, dude, the pinion gear, this is circular. This is what was left. I mean, it just shredded that whole half. There were bits of pieces. It looked like, Mike Tyson punched some dude in the mouth. There's just pieces of teeth everywhere. And so my dumb self, finally, I get it all ordered from Summit, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. No, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I watched all these videos, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it because I'll screw it up. I won't shim it correctly, and it'll be ruined. So I take it to this guy. He's awesome. Austin and Pops here in Austin on Bee Cave, and Valentino, and he puts it in there, and he's like, man, if you hear any whining or whatever, let me know. So I go driving, and all of a sudden, 30, 40 miles later, I'm hearing a whine. Take it back to him. He flips it out for a set that he knows works. We drive it around for a while and no whine. And so he determined that the ring and pinion was faulty from the manufacturer. They sent us a new one. But I decide that instead of a 373, I want a 390. A little taller. It's got 35s on it. Makes more. I didn't want to go 410. So they sent me a 390. He put it in. It's amazing. It's amazing. But it's a 4-wheel drive vehicle, and the front is a 373. And so when I finally go to put the front drive shaft on, I have to swap out the front as well. So there's another, $1,000. Like I said, it's like a boat or an RV. Every time I take it in, it's like $1,000. So all I need is more money.
Yeah,
right. I just need to make more money.
Solves
That's what
all
it
the
is.
issues.
Minor details. Minor details.
With the car, it's a problem with my pocketbook.
That's exactly right. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's just one thing. I could take up the rest of the show with that truck, but it is fun.
I love it. What rear end does it have in it? Is it just the factory?
Just the factory 10 bolt.
Okay.
Yeah. 8.5 10 bolt, and it's now it's a 390, and we got a what's the carrier? I can't remember, but I got it all off Summit.
Okay.
So we had to do new axles as well because they were worn out, and everything was from 1990. The front axles I've already swapped out, and so now all that is left, I'll have to get a new ring and pinion for the front. Hopefully, I won't have to swap the carrier, and that'll save me money. Ring and pinion is not expensive. The carrier is kind of expensive.
Well, yeah, but I mean, while you're in there, you may as well put a locker in it. So you have it apart already. You just
God. See, this is how it goes. And you're right. I can't argue with that. That's logic, baby. That makes sense. You're absolutely right. There's no reason to go with any other way. Why would I want not limited slip? What's the point?
Yeah,
I got limited slip now.
Right.
Now the rear end has limited slip. Oh, God. I love this truck. I really do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I will say, just from personal experience, it's one of the downsides of assigning names to vehicles is it just adds an extra layer.
You're stuck with it.
Yeah, of attachment. So not only are you in love with the possibilities and what could be and what can be, but the fact that you and Dad-Burb are so connected now, it's more of a mutual respect for one another that you just can't get rid of part of your family like that.
I kind of want to throw up right now. I want to throw up. I mean, I've got a license plate on it that says Dad-Burb. So the only way out of that is finding another cool Suburban that hopefully is not, Frankensteined together. But we'll get it right. I think at the end of the day, what I've decided is that comes out of my mouth way too often. When the shop is up and running and we're functioning, I think I'm going to pull the body off of it and just take it all the way down to the frame, and we're going to clean that thing up, and we're going to reinforce it, and we're going to brace it all up, and get the rust off of it, and spray paint it, and just get it all nice and fresh and clean, and start over and just build it up from there and do it right. Run new fuel lines, run new brake lines, get all discs all the way around, and just do it the way I wanted to do it from the beginning. Go ahead and spend the money to redo it, but then it'll be the way that I want it to be. Get the springs and the shocks right, and set it up the way that I wanted to do it. Maybe even spring for the Dana 60s front and rear, and just quit messing around. Get myself into the 1 ton or 3/4 ton that can handle pushing those 35s with 400 horsepower at the rear.
Well, and if you're putting axles in it, then you may as well 4-link the front end. And if you're going to 4-link the front, you may as well do something with the rear too while you're there. And I mean, you got the whole thing blown apart, so now's the time to do it. So
I can't argue with that.
I feel it is my responsibility.
It's only $200,000 1990 Suburban that's worth $15,000 in the whole world.
I feel like it's my financial responsibility to change the subject at this point so that we can keep having you on the show and we are not considered a liability to your wife and family, because every time you talk to those idiots over at Garage Talk, we're spending more money on Dad-Burb.
No, see, the thing is, the whole reason I'm starting Morrow Motors is to fund the Dad-Burb project.
Absolutely.
To pay for the Dad-Burb. That's the only reason we got Morrow Motors started. Is just we're like, how can we pay for all the things that Dad-Burb is bringing to our table?
Right.
I know.
Right.
Start a car. We'll sell cars. We'll start a car dealership. Genius.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Only logical next step, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that and real estate, or I don't know, maybe we make our own currency. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
That's essentially how
Whatever it takes.
Dogecoin came along.
Right.
It was a joke.
Hey,
so
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I've got Dogecoin. I've got stock in Dogecoin. I've got stock in Bitcoin. I got stock in Tesla. I'm all over the place, man.
Yeah. Well, it has been a blast catching up with you and talking to you again.
Did you get anything accomplished on this interview?
I think so.
What are you going to title this one? Because this is not. What is this?
I'm gonna go. You've said a few things that I was like, oh, that'll be a good title. So
yeah.
as I'm going through this one, editing it, you dropped some nuggets of wisdom in there. So
cocaine and crowbars. That's what this one's going to be called.
Oh dear!
Right?
There's a song in that one. Good grief! There's a song.
It just went off. Things just went off the rails. What's he talking about? Are you still with us, Cory?
Yeah. So
next time you need any more bad ideas for the Dad-Burb, just holler at me. I'll be happy to help out.
The 4-point. I just started looking at that. I actually was really, really close to doing that too, and then it was like the dollar sign amount popped up, and I was like, oh, good Lord, that's like that's pricey.
Yeah.
But that would solve all the problems that I have in my mind with the way that it rides. That would absolutely fix everything. Front and rear.
Yeah.
All and then it would really actually be the ultimate off-road vehicle.
Oh yeah.
That looks cool and is cool and performs cool.
Some King coil over remote reservoir.
Need another $100,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All it takes is money.
Cool $100,000.
Just money.
Maybe that's the episode title right there. All it takes is money.
All it takes is money, baby. GoWheelsUp.live.
That's it.
Yeah. So Morrow Motors
if you
TX.
come to GoWheelsUp.live, that'll fund my Dad-Burb project.
There you go.
There you go. So 2 places check you out. GoWheelsUp.live, and that'll give you all the information about the event this Memorial Day weekend.
Correct.
And then Morrow Motors TX. Is that what you said?
MorrowMotorsTX.com. We're not up and running yet, but that will be the address for the dealership. And then CoryMorrow.com. What's that for the future? Yeah, save it. Put it on your what do you call it on your phone? Your
bookmarks.
Bookmark. Yeah. Put it on your bookmark for the future. MorrowMotorsTX.com. But CoryMorrow.com is for all things, everything that we do, and where we're playing, what we're up to, merchandise and all that good stuff, and what events that we're going to be a part of, and when we're going to come surprise you guys and have an in studio, burning of the Dad-Burb whenever that happens.
I'm game. Yeah, but until then, I guess I can settle for meeting you at Go Wheels Up. So
Go Wheels Up.
Yeah.
Are you going to be there as well, Matt?
I actually, this is the first time hearing of it, so I'm going to try to be.
About this trip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will
What
say,
city are you guys in?
We're in Tyler.
yeah, we're about four-ish,
Shoot, the
4 and change
hop,
away.
skip, and a jump, and another hop, and you're
Oh
there.
yeah. No, it's not too far away. I got to talk to the missus and see if
In
we
Texas speak, it's not that far away.
Right. Yeah.
Like if we were up in the New England area, we could travel 6-7 states in the amount of time it takes to get from here to you. So
halfway across the country by the time you get
Yep.
here.
Right.
But that ain't no big thing, That's just a typical Texas road trip.
yep.
Yeah, I can't commit to anything yet, but I am going to try and be there. It'd be an awesome event. The A-10 is my favorite all-time ever airplane, so I'm there.
All time.
Yep.
We have one. We have one that's coming. It's called a Piaggio. I don't know if you know anything about airplanes. No. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's a twin turbo push plane. So the props, instead of facing forward and pulling the plane, they're in the back pushing the plane. And it's really cool design. It's kind of it's very, very unique. A friend of mine, he has one, and he's like, man, would you want me to bring that and set it up static? And I'm like, absolutely. So anything that's cool, that's unique, that's different, I'm like, please bring it and set it up and show it off and tell your story. Like I want people to come up and ask questions, and I just love it, man. I love hearing everybody's personal story. And then when you got a cool car, plane, boat, we're even gonna have boats out there. I mean, I want it to all be out there because it's just fun, man. Stuff's fun to look at. I mean, we're going to have F-16 freaking fighter jet flying over and doing maneuvers. I mean, when do you get to see that kind of stuff? I love it.
Yeah. Too cool.
Well, looking forward to it. Can't wait to see you at the event. And we will absolutely keep in touch in between now and then and post-event as well. So thanks again for coming on. And we'll shoot you and Ivan all the links as soon as we're ready to go with this one.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you. All right, Matt. I don't think we've stopped smiling since hitting join call with Cory for this week's episode. It was a blast. It is, I will say, very dangerous getting the two of y'all and your scheming minds together in the same place, talking about the same things, because all I see is dollar signs.
All we need is money.
All you need is money, right? Yeah. So just very interesting conversation and time speaking with Cory this week. Just so many things going on in his life, music related and not. So very interested to hear the next phase and stage of his family's life and where they're going. And I think it'll be worth checking out Morrow Motors.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know why I can't say that.
It's like you said, tomorrow. Yeah. It's just Morrow Motors. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah. What's the issue, Cory?
I don't know. It's not like I talk for extended period of time on any certain platform or anything like that. I'm going to blame the allergies. I'm still a little clogged up. So I'm going to go that route. That's fine. Yeah, cop out there. So, yes. He said it in his episode, but if you want to check out anything from Cory, CoryMorrow.com is the go-to place for anything that he's doing musically and otherwise. But Morrow Motors TX, I got it there, .com for future car-related news from Cory Morrow, and then GoWheelsUp.live.
That's going to be an incredible event. I'm super stoked.
I saw
about
you
that
salivating as soon as he started talking airplanes, especially on that one. So,
well, I mean everything. NSX, that's on my dream car list. The A10 Warthog, that's on my dream car list. I mean,
dream car?
Well, dream vehicle.
Yeah,
there. I will own one.
Okay. I'm not arguing with you.
I mean, okay, Garage Talk may own one.
Oh, gosh. Okay, now I'm arguing with you. But, yes, it's going to be a fantabulous, new word, fantabulous event. Can't wait to be there and just to bring you, our listeners, our fans, along with us. Be sure and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things so that you can keep up with us when we do on-location events like that. GTGarageTalk.com is your go-to source for all things GT Garage Talk. And until next time, bye.